Welcome back. This is a news center. Today we're focusing on breastfeeding. This is the last day of the Breastfeeding Awareness Week, where we take a look at some of the important issues that surround breastfeeding, why the rate is going down in Kenya, and of course what can be done in our local communities to ensure that this is kept up, that the mothers who are having children are aware of the benefits of breastfeeding and of course adhere to that. Of course, there are very many challenges that women face that might hinder them from breastfeeding their children. And with me to shed more light on this issue is Dr. Antonina Mutoro, who is of the African Population and Health Research Center. Thank you so much for staying with us and having this conversation here on News Center. Now, before we went on break, we were talking about some of the options, and you did elaborate that you cannot actually bring up a 100% replication of breast milk in a lab. So formula is not exactly what a baby would get from, their mother. But there are, let's put ourselves in the shoes of a mother who maybe for some reason is facing stress or an illness or whatever that is causing them not to be able to produce the right amount of breast milk that is healthy for their children. Now, in the market, we hear about these things, breastfeeding, mothers are told to buy certain cookies, certain things that could actually enable or rather encourage their bodies to produce milk. Speak to us about that. Before the mother gets to the point of deciding, okay, I will buy formula, what are these other supplements that actually help them, that could help them? Do they work? Are they good? And should mothers actually be aware of these?
In terms of supplementation, what I would advise is that for mothers who are facing challenges with milk production, the best people to talk to would be health practitioners, because they know what is best and what works and what has been scientifically proven to work in terms of milk production. What you find is that most of the products on the market, they're just it's more of a marketing strategy, and in some cases the benefits are not actually proven. So in cases where women are having challenges with milk production, the best people to talk to are health practitioners.
And would you say then in the health, you yourself, you're a doctor, so if I come to you and say, I'm considering these supplements, I'm considering formula because I just cannot produce enough milk from my child, how would you attack this problem? What would the advice be? What would you look for in the mother? What would your line of questioning be?
So first of all, I'd like to clarify, I'm a doctor in research, not a medical doctor. But yes, the procedures which medical doctors the questions which medical doctors can ask in order to find out the underlying cause of the low milk production. In some cases, it might be because of stress, and through probing and asking the mothers relevant questions, they might be able to identify the underlying causes of low milk production and then recommend a suitable way forward depending on what challenge the mother is facing.
Absolutely. And now let's go back to the community level. Do you think, or rather, what are the efforts that you think are going to ensure, far from the community health workers, what do you envision with the efforts that you're putting in place? What do you envision what transformation do you hope for when it comes to our communities so that we can have we can secure survival for more than just the babies, for our entire country, for our entire communities?
First of all, I'd like to say that breastfeeding has benefits not only to the mother and the child, but also to our economic development. Which is why it's very important to ensure that infants get the right start when it comes to feeding once they join us in the world. And so what I envision, or what also part of the work we are aiming to do, is to find out the best way to ensure that all communities have access to, say, the baby-friendly community initiative at a national level. This will ensure that all communities are equipped with the relevant information in order to promote and support women who are breastfeeding. At the moment, we've done some research on the effectiveness of the baby-friendly community initiative, but then that's in a controlled environment. Now the challenge is, how do we ensure that it's scaled up nationally so that all communities are able to benefit on that? So we are currently conducting research to find out how best to incorporate the baby-friendly community initiative into the community health system so that each and every mother is able to access knowledge and information on breastfeeding.
Okay, and a cheeky one, is breastfeeding key to losing baby weight?
There is some evidence to that, but then during that time, when a mother is breastfeeding, the focus should be on her baby, and not necessarily weight loss.
Yes.
Weight loss can come at a later stage.
Yeah, it's an added perk. Okay, thank you so much. That is Dr. Antonina Mutoro of the African Population and Health Research Center. Thank you so much for shedding light on the importance of breastfeeding and, of course, ensuring that our communities are surviving, because it is key to ensuring the immune system of the children are very strong, and, of course, that will lead to a strong community. Thank you so much for joining us, shedding light. This is Breastfeeding Awareness Week. If you don't know now, you know, and of course you can take the necessary precautions, or tell someone who is breastfeeding around you how important it is to ensure that the children get the right amount of nutrients through their mothers. Thank you so much. Now let's move on to another story that's making headlines. A family in Embu County is seeking answers over the deaths of two brothers